Mr. Gray,
What is this, Mr. Black?
do you want to hear a new joke?
Absolutely.
Knock, knock.
Who's a
little old lady.
little old lady who?
I didn't know you could yodel.
I guess I did. Dear oh dear. Right. Hello and welcome to the Shed podcast thing. It's Newsday.
Bong.
And in the news today,
James Blunt threatens to release new music on Spotify in protest against Joe Rogan.
Bong.
man eats raw meat for 78 days straight to see how long he can survive.
Bong. Russian artist arrested for poop sausage art at memorial site.
Sweet.
I guess that's the news.
Insert jingle.
So I'll start off. James Blunt has threatened to release new music on Spotify in protest against Joe Rogan.
Oh no.
So obviously this is a joke.
I would take it pretty seriously.
I'm sure there are people who didn't see the funny side of it. Are pretty terrified about the thought of James Blunt releasing new music.
I prefer he release more tweets. His Twitter's quite known for being
Yeah, he is the Twitter god. Like,
Does have a pretty good sense of humour.
I just remember one of his tweets. Someone tweeted out randomly that, oh my fucking god, James Blunt is on the TV downstairs. And then he tweeted back at the guy, don't worry, I'm coming up now.
Did he used to be in the army, didn't he?
Yeah, he was a captain or a major.
I remember.
And he served in Bosnia.
I remember he starred in Top Gear once, and I asked him about this, and he said he wanted to take his guitar with him, but they wouldn't let him take it inside the transport vehicle.
So he had to strap
So
it
he
to the
had
side.
to strap the guitar to the side of the tank.
Wow.
Yeah, he reached the rank of captain and he served... he was in Kosovo. And then he was later signed to a reconnaissance unit in northern Yugoslavia. And then wasn't it the whole thing where he was actually part of a unit that was ordered to take an airfield that was held by the Russians? And then he refused the order because he didn't want to start World War III.
By taking an airfield?
Well, to take something by force, you have to, shoot the enemy.
Hmm.
So if you shoot a load of Russians, they're going to shoot back. And then
I just call them names and hope they shoot first.
it still starts World War III.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing that now.
Yeah. I remember, I just knew he was in the army because I heard references, but I didn't know it was true. And then I saw there's like a little action man. Somebody made an action man, but it was like one of the pull cord ones. It's like said something every time you pulled the cord. Every time you pulled it, it was like, "You're beautiful." It was just a little cricket.
Anyway, yeah. So Mr. Blunt has joined in on the whole Joe Rogan, obviously taking the mick out of it. People are calling on Joe Rogan to be cancelled and Spotify to remove him and blah blah blah. So Mr. Blunt has piped in with the tweet: if at Spotify doesn't immediately remove Joe Rogan, I will release new music onto the platform. # you are beautiful.
All I can say about Joe Rogan is he makes a pretty good podcast, arguably the second best podcast on the internet.
Yes, we all know
Yeah.
who the first is.
Mhm.
It's just a shame it's underappreciated.
Well, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Nope. Someday,
One day we will get a listener.
one day, one day, Rogan will, Mr. Joe Rogan will be begging to be on our podcast.
Absolutely.
Listener.
Yeah, so there's a few other things written in this article. I don't particularly care about them because they're basically just slagging off Joe Rogan. So let's just move on.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan's great, by the way. We love him.
So, Mr. Black,
Yes.
what have you found?
This is actually breaking news. I just got this story 10 minutes ago. So Russian artist arrested for poop sausage art at memorial site. Russian artist Ivan Volkov, so you know he's Russian,
He sounds Russian.
has been arrested for placing a huge poop sausage on Marsfallet in Central Petersburg, reports the newspaper Fontanka. Pictures of the artwork were spread on the internet and the authorities chose to detain him. He risks up to 3 years in prison. 3 years? But have you seen this poo artwork?
Is it artwork or is it just a poo that he called art?
Actually,
Is that not most art?
I'm trying to work out. Is this just a drawing? or-
There's definitely some art that is that. Yes.
Definitely modern art. You can go to galleries full of it in London.
I don't know. Modern art is a. Oh, we need to do a slideshow podcast about modern art
Yes, actually, we do. There's an idea.
because my goodness, some of it is dreadful.
Is it wise to pay credence to it though by talking about it? Because it is just.
I suppose-
I think I'm convinced it's mainly for money laundering.
Yeah, that's probably a big part of it. Yeah.
That's a fair point. Yeah, money laundering is one, and I think they're trolls as well. So
Yeah.
the more we talk about it, and the more we're annoyed by it, maybe
But I mean,
that's,
yeah,
they
but
feed off it.
But there are people that are actually into that shit though. Like, sure, do you remember Lars Ulrich from that's Some Kind of Monster, the Metallica documentary when they're like falling apart. But he has like a massive art collection, and he nearly has a nervous breakdown trying to get rid of it. In fact, he had to get drunk during the auction because he just couldn't bear to see it go. And it's just like splodges on a canvas. It looks shit. I could have done it.
Yes, but it's because he knows he's about to lose a rather large commission in an auction and get taxed.
True, that's probably what it was. It's okay. So this was done on a site for the soldiers who fell during the Russian Revolution in 1917.
Quite an important event in Russia.
The poop sausage has now been removed. Not the first time. What? He previously had exhibitions. Ivan had previously had exhibitions in Berlin, New York, and not the first time he does poop art. Oh, more shit. Yeah, I think this guy does exclusively poo art because he did it before in 2021 in the city of Provino, where he grew up. On top of this as well,
It usually helps if you're trying to pronounce a place, do it in the accent. So it'd be like
Provino.
Provino,
Provino.
Provino.
Italian.
Yeah, more Italian.
Provino.
Provino.
The mother, the
Give
artist,
me my vodka from Provino.
the artist's mother has gone public and assured that her son does not mean anything bad and that he has a great respect for the dead. I'm ready to apologize to everyone in St. Petersburg if my son offended you. My son is a very intelligent person with a good sense of humor, clearly. He's been in contact with his mother since he was arrested and has assured that he is well. So, there you go.
Well, it is quite a stretch to say that a guy has respect for the dead when he literally put a poop on the memorial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's how are you respecting them? By shitting on their graves?
it's literally shitting on their graves.
Well, it's not literally shitting
Well,
on
it's
their
not,
graves.
is it? Because it wasn't.
It's not a literal shit.
It wasn't real poo, was it?
I don't think it was real poo, no. I think it was a photograph with a poo like superimposed on top of it. Like it was drawn on, like a drawn poo.
I see.
And there's like a little yellow pea stain beneath the poo.
Lovely. Can't think of the detail,
Anyway.
Speaking of poo, it just reminds me of the that horror film, the Pee Pee Poo Poo Man.
Pee Pee Poo Poo Man, yes.
You may laugh when you hear his name.
Reminds me of Rat Man as well, the critter from the shitter.
The critter from the shitter.
Yeah.
He once knew a critter from the shitter. Moving on.
Jesus.
Moving on, our next headline. A man eats raw meat for 78 days to see how long he can survive. So yeah, this guy, whose name is unknown, he's on Instagram, I think. Basically, for 78 days, he's been eating raw meat. So raw steaks and raw mince and stuff like that.
So what's that, 3 months? No, it's 90 days.
78 days, that's...
2.5 months.
Yeah, 2.5 months is a long time. But yeah, he's been doing it on Instagram. He's got 60,000 followers. He washes his meat down with some raw eggs and some milk. So he's a...
That's one way to curl your stomach.
Well, apparently not. The guy says he's actually quite healthy at the moment.
Yeah, but milk and raw eggs won't go.
Milk and raw eggs?
Well, it's following a steak.
Yeah, but I just don't picture milk and eggs, raw eggs, agreeing with each other at the same
I'll
time.
tell you, his farts must be ungodly. Like smell-wise, his must be absolutely horrendous.
There's a post on his Instagram of him eating a raw steak and his dog watching, which I think is a bit cruel.
It was the other dog.
Did he notice any muscle gain, or did he lose a load of weight, or did he have any weight to begin with?
Well, let's see. So following day 34, when he was asked how he was feeling, he said, "Good, so far, and I feel no reason to stop. No crazy changes either way." So I guess he doesn't really change that much. By day 40, he revealed that he has chowed down on 1 pound of mince in 5 minutes. That's a lot of munching.
I don't know, this just seems like an acquired taste.
And he said that it's growing on him. So, he's actually preferring the raw meat to cooked.
Is there not like a meat dish that you can get in some restaurants though, and it is literally like raw beef? I can't...
Steak tartare, isn't it?
Tartare, yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. It's like really seasoned though, and like the laced with onions and all
It's
kinds
very
of stuff.
fancy.
Yeah. In fact, that's what Mr. Bean gets in that episode, and he hates it. So that's why I don't want to eat it. Does it mention how often he ate it, or what his meals, how often he had his meals, or?
I would guess he's a 3 meal a day guy. It doesn't mention it. But that's all he's eating, pretty much. He's always eating animal. So he's had cow, he's had pig, he's had sheep, And it's all going very well.
Nice. Does it mention what he was like at the end of the 72 days, 78 days?
Well, basically, he's fine. He's still going.
Right.
So yeah, a bit. Well, what is quite interesting is before he started this diet, he claims he was eating a mostly plant-based diet, and he was suffering with health issues. Since he's changed to the caveman diet, he's got a lot better.
Are you trying to say we were built to eat meat?
Yes, that's certainly what this guy's proving. Is that meat is actually quite good for you.
Well, it's the reason why we have canines and molars, is so we can tear meat and chew it.
The molars are the chewy vegetable things, aren't they?
No, they're for
Cows have
they're
molars.
for grinding meat. Their molars are for they're for grinding, and your canines are for tearing.
I don't know.
That's why like dogs have them, because they need to chew meat as well.
There's a chap at work who I got into a discussion with who is a vegetarian, and he claims that humans aren't meant to eat meat, but they're kind of in the middle. So if you look at the human digestive system, one way you can tell, all herbivores have a very long digestive system. So if it was all spread out, it'd be like, I can't remember the numbers, but like a rabbit, for example, their digestive system is 15 times longer than their body.
Yeah.
But a cat, who's a carnivore, is only 3 times longer than their body. We're like right in the middle. Ours is 9 times longer than our body.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, we are right in the middle of whether we should eat meat or not. But this guy's proving that meat is good for you.
How about raw meat though?
Apparently so.
Because like I remember seeing on a TV program, it was a Freaky Eaters or something. Where, like you have this person go on and like all they can eat is chips or something, and they have like these 2 doctors come on to try and change their behavior. There's this other guy, all he could eat was pizza, but like he woke up and he kept having like pains in his arms, and he was like dry retching and stuff in the morning, and not good.
Should he eat like hypnotherapy or something for that, right?
No, it's more just like behavioral changes. A lot of the times it was like fear, because there's this girl that like if she ate anything else she was scared of choking. This girl was obsessed with chips, so they made like carrots, but they were like chip shaped and stuff, and like avocado chip shaped and all. It was just really stupid. But there was this one guy on that did just eat raw meat, and his girlfriend was like in dire straits and tears and everything. No, it's destroying our relationship. Well, because he ate raw meat. Yeah. No, I don't know what the problem is. I think it's just because all his meals were different from hers. Like they couldn't sit down and have the same meal together, because it was just raw. But the point is, he got his liver checked, did like a liver test on him, and they found that his enzymes in his liver were like really high. Like some of the ones that I don't know what the technical thing is, but basically they were in the red. It's like I don't know if it's like toxins or certain enzymes, but basically if you have too much of them, they're not good. Cause liver disease or liver damage down the road.
There's just one more note on this. He wasn't the only guy to do it. There's a 56-year-old woman, mother of 2, who was on a vegan diet, had a few health problems, and she switched to a raw meat and organ diet.
Jesus Christ.
And now she feels fitter and stronger, and says she has the body of a 25-year-old. Meat is the way to go, guys. It's the future.
At least cook it, so your farts aren't absolutely horrendous.
Yeah, it's really funny. You can take that 2 ways. She has the body of a 25-year-old. She feels better than she's ever felt in her life, and she feels like she's young again. Either that, or she literally went and killed a 25-year-old and has it stuffed in the fridge somewhere.
That's possible. That would explain having the body of a 25-year-old.
Exactly.
But yeah, just like, I mean, I forgot what I was going to say, but yeah, cook it at least.
Anyway, we have a few honorary mentions that didn't make the news this week, but
absolutely. Go on. What's it? Oh, okay. Yes. So somewhere an elk, which is basically a deer, has been rescued from a tire which has been around its neck for 2 years.
Flip.
So
that would suck.
So an elk is like a deer. So he puts its head around the tire, it grows some antlers, and then it can't get the tire off anymore. But the amazing thing, the article isn't actually that interesting, but the comments on the Facebook post are amazing. Jody Cox says, "I bet he's really happy about this." And so, Amber Joy says, "I bet he got really tired of carrying that around." And Charles Ford says, "I'm glad someone spared his life."
Deer's probably thinking somebody stole my necklace.
Just thinking, yeah, I'm not cool with that.
Yeah, that was my protection. Literally protected my neck.
Now it's exposed to wild predators.
Yeah.
Well, I have just one other headline to read out. I'm not reading any of the article. If you wish to read the article, you may merely Google the following phrase: transracial influencer wants penis reduction surgery, so they look 100% Korean. Now,
North or south?
it just says Korean.
He's quite well fed, so South Korea.
Okay. He's got an municipally granted hairstyle as well, is he?
Yes.
Now, this is so fucking stupid. It didn't make one of the main headlines because it's just that retarded.
Guy
yes,
wants
this is so retarded. It is behind poo sculpture, James Blunt tweet, and
some guy eating different food.
some guy eating different food. That's how stupid this is.
Poo sculpture.
If you wish to know more, merely Google the headline. But I'm leaving it at that.
Yes.
It's that Jimin guy, isn't it?
I'm leaving it at that.
We're far too highbrow to be talking about penis reduction.
Why?
I'm leaving it at that.
And on that note,
Somebody was getting breast enlargement, that'd be okay, wouldn't it?
well, yeah, but it wouldn't make the news.
Hmm.
And on that note,
Till next time.
goodbye.
Bye.